Hey guys, what's up? Got some more, another WarZ video. Not sure how many I'm actually going to end up doing of these, but I'm just kind of doing a loot run right now. I was doing one last night with a guy and we managed to find like 3 guns apiece between Rocky Ford, Hill Ranch, and this place, and then we went through the tunnel right there and found like 2 more in there. And basically, we logged out because I had to get off. My kid was like waking up from a nap. Then I logged on later to walk back through the tunnel at night, which was a horrible idea alone, and fend off the zombies and try to get through. And I almost did, but I got hit so low on health to where I couldn't sprint anymore, and some zombies got up to me, and I ended up losing everything. It was sad. A sad day indeed. Some people joining this server. As you can see, I'm playing on low settings, at least for the terrain, and that's just because I've just been seeing a lot of people that are playing like that, because I mean, as you can see, it gives you an advantage. There ain't so much ground clutter, which, I mean, I like the ground clutter. It's not bad, but looks like they don't even have it in here. You can't do the individual settings from the menu, it seems like, but there's a supermarket in this little place, so I figured I'd check it out. Body armor, sweet. Oh, sweet. Kruger. Bandages, yes, I need those. If you don't know and you're just starting out the game, cam melee zombies. I know when I first started playing the game, I avoided zombies because I was afraid that if I got within melee range, that they were going to hit me and I was going to die. I didn't realize that striking a zombie with a melee weapon actually puts them in kind of a animation where they can't do anything. So just a little tip for you guys. I like me some bandages, I will say that. Last night we came through here, there was a helmet right here where this body armor is, so if you guys ever come through here, make sure you check that spot. And this cop car right here, there was another helmet out there. And there was a Kruger Mini 14, I want to say, where I found that rifle this time. There was a water bottle in here as far as I remember, but nothing else, I want to say. Group of zombies over there, see that? Probably means a player wasn't here and he ran out of the town that way, and he had some following him, and they eventually just stopped once he got out of range. And that's all I'm going to check, because I ain't trying to stay here all day. I'm actually trying to get back to the safe zone down south so I can deposit this stuff in my global inventory. Also, for any of you who didn't know, granola bars and juice will refill your sprint meter, not all the way, but about halfway every time you eat one or drink a box of juice. I think the juice is actually a little less. I think it's like a third to a quarter, but it's pretty cool. So if you ever find yourself out sprinting someone or running away and you need a little extra sprint, definitely do that. Yeah, see that line right there of zombies? That's always a pretty sure sign that somebody was, had a lot of zombies on them and when they ran out of the town, and they needed to get rid of them, so they just kept sprinting. I like third person more than first person. I don't know. I guess it's all personal preference. The advantage to third person is you can see around corners without actually having to go around them physically and risk getting shot. Plus I feel like I can see more around me as well just when I'm running around and stuff rather than this. Who knows, maybe not. Probably don't want to make this video too long. I had like a 25-minute video of me and some clan members in Campos in the 5-story apartment building. Just kind of holding it down for a while, killing some people and whatnot, and we ended up dying a bunch of times apiece, but getting back in there. That was one of my first days running with clan members, and for some reason the video file was corrupt, and my fucking hills, my video editing software wouldn't make a video out of it, so I probably gotta start keeping them a little shorter, figure out what happened. Another tip is if you're walking down steep slopes like you just saw, I lost health, which is something they haven't patched out of the game yet. Make sure hopping helps instead of just walking. So sometimes when you're walking, you'll just walk past that threshold, which is what's going to give you the health deduction, whereas hopping, sometimes you can jump over it, and that'll keep you from losing that health. This is Hill Ranch. I'm going to check some places here. There's not usually a whole lot here, but sometimes you can find... I have found a handgun here, so... But, I don't know. I think the game's worth 15 bucks, but, I mean, after all the shit that's happened lately with the developers, I honestly can't truthfully say I want to recommend it to anyone because they're, like, lying to us. They're players. I don't know, it's strange. Like just 2 or 3 days ago while I was on Christmas leave at my parents' house and I couldn't really play because I had a laptop that runs the game at like 10 FPS. One of the art leaders from the dev team named Russian Caliber was on a stream on Twitch on a guy who's been playing WarZ for a couple weeks now, maybe a month, and he hasn't been streaming that long. But he streams WarZ and, you know, he promotes it and all kinds of stuff. Well, this guy Russian Caliber gets on there saying, you know, I know you have cheaters in your clan, I've heard you have cheaters in your clan, you need to give me the names. And Artemis is cool about it, you know, he's like, yeah, I'll give you the names, I have a spreadsheet, you know, I've been keeping track of who I think has been cheating and who's told me they've been cheating. But then it was like Russian Caliber just kept like persisting and persisting and persisting. It was like, you know, you need to give me the names like fucking now. And he didn't say fucking now, but he said now, and then he told Artemis, he's like, you know, if you don't give me the names of all the people cheating in your clan, we're gonna have fucking problems, was his quote. And it was just very unprofessional, you know, I've never seen a game developer talk like that to a customer, especially someone who promotes the game and plays it, you know, on a daily basis, who has hundreds of people watching him on Twitch. You know, that's just weird. Very unprofessional, but basically it started a huge shitstorm in on the forums and just in the games community in general, which is just bad for the dev team, and not to mention how very much they keep us in the dark just about, I don't know, it's so weird, you know, a lot of usually really good game developers, you know, they're on the forums a lot, they keep their player base updated on, you know, how things are going with the game and what you know, what they're working on, and you know, when patches are going to be coming out. You know, they keep us up to date. These guys like to not really do any of that, and it's like the only time they actually get on the forums and tell us stuff is when they've like fucked up and they need to apologize, is what I see a lot, which kind of sucks. You know, if they would get on the forums a lot more and interact with us and, you know, give us updates on what they're doing, and actually, you know, put patches out every, I mean, weekly at least. I mean, you know, fix this grass thing. A lot of people have been bitching about how, you know, people who have it on low can have an advantage over other players. Just the user interface, you know, there's no compass, there's no mini-map, there's no proximity voice chat, there's no way to clearly tell who's a civilian, who's a bandit, and who's a lawman, because it's just, you can't really tell. I mean, you just have to guess. You can look at who is on the server and judge by that, but that's really hard to do. I mean, you don't even know who you're running into in the game until you've been killed by them. That's the only time you can see their name, or if you're in proximity chat and you manage to figure it out like that. There's just a lot of little things they could do to make this game a lot better, and I don't know why they aren't, because this game would be so much more enjoyable. And the number one thing right now is hackers. The amount of hackers in this game are ridiculous. I personally haven't been killed by more than 1 or 2 over the course of me playing for like a month, but I can tell you there's like a third of the player base is hacking, because they're so easy to get. Some of them are free, some of them cost, and they do things like give you unlimited sprint, allow you to walk through walls, shoot through walls, aim bots, no spread, to where like shotguns will have you know, the spread of a like an M16, and you can snipe with that. They can go hundreds of feet into the air, which is called it's called like a bird's eye advantage of some of the cheats. And there's another one that's like ESP. I'm not really sure what that one does. There's one that gives you no fall damage when walking down hills. It's just really sad the state that the game is in, and it's mainly the hackers that are ruining it. It's like I don't ever really venture near Campos, Boulder City, NORAD Military Base, or Frosty Pines Resort Town, or Echo Compound. Those are very, very hot spots. I'll go there with clanmates, but I will never go there solo, because it's just too risky, and you don't want to lose anything you've gathered on your loot runs. But if they would, like I said, if they would fix the hackers, this game would be so much more enjoyable. But, I mean, I guess it's hard to put an anti-cheat system in a game. I don't know anything about coding or game develop or anything, so I'm not going to talk, but, you know, the game's been in alpha stage for like 2 or 3, well, I still think it's in alpha stage. The developer put out a letter apologizing to the entire player base, saying he's sorry for everything that's happened, and wants to fix the game. And he kind of got caught up in all the popularity it had and the numbers of the subscribers or the customers and everything, and stopped focusing on a lot of the things that needed to be done. Plus it was a holiday season, and how they were going to start have a more prominent presence on the forums and blah blah blah. But, you know, that's what I'm talking about. They only get on the forums when they need to apologize or address, you know, what's going on in the game. It's never to actually fill us in on what kind of fixes they're looking at, or what kind of things they're doing to, like, you never see the developers put out any kind of polls on the forums. Like, do you guys want this or this, or, you know, we're thinking about doing this, what do you guys think? It's like they'll put out patch notes when the patch comes out, or they'll apologize for something that went bad, and I don't know. I've just seen a lot better from other companies, and I hope, you know, they do clean it up, because I really have fun in this game. Like I said, you know, I haven't ran into many hackers, and I this game more than Daisy. Daisy's learning curve is a little steeper, which if I had the time, I would invest in it, but I really don't have a whole lot of time to invest in learning that game. I mean, I have it. I have the Arma games, and I could play it, and I've tried to play it, but the controls and everything always get me, and the maps are really huge, and I don't know anyone that plays, so when I play, I usually play solo, and that's how I am on a lot of games. I don't really have a whole lot of friends IRL that I know that play games. Being in the Army, there are a lot of gamers, but some of the positions that some people work in the military doesn't allow you to have a whole lot of friends, you could put it that way. I'm just trying not to get killed right now. This is the last town I'm going to go through. If you guys want loot and you're watching this video, you know, I have 5 characters. I advise everyone to make 5 characters, so you don't have to keep deleting one and making a new one every time one dies. You can just hop to another one. And what I do is I have this guy always at this safe zone, so that way I can always come to this city right here, and I know this is gonna sound bad, but server hop and get loot. I wouldn't say 90, I was gonna say 90. I would say 80% of the time there is a weapon at one of these 2 military vehicles right here, either the Humvee, okay, they're both Humvees, at the Humvees. And there's a supermarket here and a diner, and I find weapons in the diner all the time, especially this right here and the Kruger Mini 14 all the time. And what I'll do is walk down to the safe zone, and I'll check out the diner, I'll check out the supermarket, and I'll check out these 2 vehicles, and if there's nothing, then I'll find a place that I think is safe to hide. I'll jump to another server, and I will do the same thing as on that server. And be cautious of those music cues, like the one you just heard play. There's one, it sounds like bells ringing, and that's a sign that another player is in the vicinity, from what I've heard. Looks like the supermarket has been cleaned out. I've started stocking up on food as well. Don't see anyone. Yeah, there's usually a weapon like right back here or over here on one of these tables. I found a Colt Anaconda on one of these tables one time. Usually it's either back here on these 2, or it'll be like where I found that stuff. That's where the loot spawns, and there's usually always food back here on the floor, so make sure you run back here with your camera pointed down. Let's see how you can kind of peek out without putting your character out. And see, I don't even run into many players as well. I run into players like here and there, but I never really run into them like all the time. And like my main character only has like 3 kills on him. He has like almost 200 zombie kills, but no not even 5, just regular player kills, which is crazy. Because I'd like to start killing more bandits so I can get the login title. And I always like to keep a handgun equipped, or a primary, when I'm moving from town to town, because there aren't really zombies out in the wild unless the few places you know where they are because you've been there. And I like to keep a melee weapon equipped when I'm approaching a town, and that's the safest way to do it, because when you're out in the field, you don't want to have a melee weapon equipped and run across another player who's possibly a threat. You want to have a weapon ready you can put some damage downrange. But you know, in the cities and in the towns, you don't want to make any kind of noise at all. So you want to have a melee weapon equipped instead of a sidearm, so you can deal with zombies silently. I will say though, I was running through there. You can run into a lot of players in Rocky Ford. Some people like to camp that town because they know a lot of people go there to farm items because there's a safe zone right here. But I found a player there last night, and he was real sneaky because I didn't even see him till I was literally 5 feet away from him, and he was crawling on the ground near that Humvee. And it looked like he had a primary gun in his backpack, so I killed him with a hammer, but he ended up not having anything, so I kind of felt bad. But you know what happens. He actually didn't drop anything at all, which means I don't know what happened. It was on a Russian server, so I'm guessing he didn't have anything. But do you see how that granola bar refilled my sprint? It's really cool. And always be cautious in your safe zones if you're a new player and you're watching this video. Just be a little cautious, you know, just look around. You always want to save up your sprint for that last little bit so you can just run right into it. And I'm probably not going to make it on the sprint. Probably have to walk in. Because usually some hackers like to camp the safe zones because they know people run back to them to deposit stuff into their global inventory. And they'll be waiting for you. And when you come up to it, they'll kill you and take your stuff. But once you reach the safe zone, you can just see. Well, never mind. I was gonna say something, but it doesn't matter. But you know, reach the safe zone, go prone, and log out. And that's it for this video. See you guys later.